I added all the new Native Instruments plugins, one drum kit, and one sub factory. I picked a random expansion, picked a random kit, the first kit that I found that I liked. Went through, loaded up all the Native Instruments plugins. I'm talking Nat, Homage, Sway, Cloud Supply, Analog Dreams, all of them. Homage, loaded them up. And I wanted to see how much memory it could take and if it would, how it would work under pressure. The beat you're hearing right now is the beat that we're going to make in this video. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today I have my MPC Live 2 with MPC 3 on it. We have all of the new Native Instruments plugins, and I'm going to load all of those plugins up on my MPC Live 2 standalone. We're going to see how much memory it uses. That beat that you heard in the beginning, that's the beat that we're going to make. We're going to make this beat from scratch, from this drum kit. Right now, I'm zooming in right from the main screen and getting this sound together. I normally don't do all the prep work first, but today I wanted to show, I had already did a video with all the Native Instrument sounds, which is crazy, right? And then, soon as I get the video loaded up, here comes Sway. So we had to do a part 2. So that's what we are going to do today. It's just the Live 2. I do have my nano keys plugged in, but I tried to just think about using the pads for all you guys who don't have a MIDI controller. Right now I'm getting the drums together. We're checking them out. While I load these Native Instruments plugins, I'm going to play the beat again because we're going to do all of this right now. So right now I'm going to go ahead and load in Sway. I'm just going to name it Sway. So we're going to take care of that. So track 2 is Sway. It sounds really good, by the way. You know, it's got a lot of plugins, a bunch of presets, pretty good sounds. So now our next one is going to be, let's use Net. Let's use that. That one sounds pretty good. You know, it's got a bunch of different sounds. They all sound good. But the goal of what I want to do today is see how the MPC acts or handles having 6 plugins and the Native Instruments plugins and see how they play together. Can we get it cracking with that? We just loaded Homage. Now we're on track 5. Now we're loading Cloud Supply. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so that way you know every time I upload one of these videos, you can check it out. Now I'm going to load Sub Factory. I'm going to load Analog Dreams. I keep forgetting that one. We're going to load in Analog Dreams. So we have 5 Native Instruments plugins, all 5 that they released. I have all of the drum kits, but right now we are focusing on the plugins and just making beats with the plugins. You can hear the beat in the background. You can hear the full arrangement. This is it playing straight out of the MPC. Couple effects on the main, not too much. We're at 53%. So right now I'm loading in Sub Factory. And after loading Subfactory, we'll be at 53% memory with 6 plugins. 6 plugins and 1 drum track, which is 16 sounds. So 6 plugins, 16 sounds, all the new Native Instruments sounds, and my BPM, I tapped the tempo, is at 166.67. Remember, keep your little 6-7 in that number. Right now we have Sway loaded up. You can see it. I know the screen looks crazy. I did a lot of work to get the words and letters to show up better, but some of those screens that got white backgrounds, I'm sorry, guys. Make sure you check out the O.T.G Stimmy pack and different drum packs. I just added 9 gigabytes of India sounds, instruments, voices, all that kind of stuff, and 400 drum loops. Just added them to the Stimmy packs, by the way. You could get those down in the description. Everything that I make has lifetime updates, so the master classes and different things will have MPC 3 and all the new stuff in it. That's the way we work. So right now, the Stimmy pack has these progressions. I'm going to pick a random progression. So I'm just going. We stopped on a random one. I want to probably change to a different key because I get tired of using the same key all the time. You know, you turn your MPC on, you'll make 100 beats in the key of C. So sometimes you got to push yourself out your comfort. So this right now, I think we're in an E. And with that, we're going to run it down. Again, this is Sway. I'm going to double out my bars because we are above 100 BPM. So I'm going to double it out to 8 bars because the speed matters. It actually feels like a 4-bar loop, even though it's 8. You know, double time. I can hear that I have one of those are off, so we're going to grab that chord right there and nudge it forward to make sure it's on beat. I wanted to start on the 1. I like to always, when I get in this screen, I like to just listen through and make sure everything is right. So when I start to move forward, we move forward. So I'm going to turn up the volume from the touch strip. You just go over there, touch it, open it up, and turn it on. So the little eyeball. Now we're going to lay the drums. So we got Sway. Right now I want to lay drums, so we're going to go straight to the drums. I could have played it out and just finger drummed it in, but I'm still in the habit from 2.15. And again, I like to move efficient. So I don't like to do things where I know I'm going to have to spend a lot of time editing and moving notes. You know, so when it comes down and we're trying to get to business, I just do it the old school way. So right now I'm going to load in my hi-hats. I'm going to pay attention to my full level, half level up there. I'm going to turn that all the way off. So then that way we could get the velocity, how I'm touching the pad. We could get that in there and record that in. So we're adding our hi-hat now. We laid it down. I'm going to go over to my track edit again. Track edit screen, sample screen 2. You guys know I talk about it all the time. My favorite screen. I'm going to turn that volume down, get it right in the mix. Today I'm going to do a lot of mixing as I go. You know, we just going with the first sound that we like. We're not going to second guess ourselves. You know, we don't want to be here 2 hours. We're not trying to be here all night. So we want to see how these sounds work and how they play together. And so far, I really like how Sway sounds. I like how I feel like it presents something a little bit different. I like the way the keys sound. I just kind of like the way it sounds. Now we land that kick down. I'm gonna go over to my drum effects. I'm gonna add a little bit of soft clipper, and then I'm gonna hit my Q link and go over and add a little bit of bass to it. Make it a little fuller. I'm gonna keep this in the back of my mind though, because once I get to the end of the beat, you know, if I want to add an EQ on my main channel or do something like that, I may have to come back and turn the soft clipper down. But right now, I want to hear the bass and I want to hear certain elements over everything, and I want it to kind of cut through the mix while I'm creating. You know, so that way I can kind of know what I'm doing, the sounds that I'm choosing, and where I'm setting them. So now we're over here at not. We're at 53. 53%. And we already got all our plugins loaded. So let's go find something. Let's try to find let's find a pad. Since we got some keys, let's try to throw a pad in there to add some filling. You have to remember too that when you go over into your notes mode and you choose progressions, those progressions are still on your pads. It stays the same until you change it. Stays the same until you change it. So remember that I'm still playing the chords that are playing on the first track. So we could use these to kind of come in and layer, to put on the first half, do some sustained notes, to add some emotion or feeling to the sound and make it a little bit fuller, and we could just build on it. So you can see this adds a little bit more presence. I don't feel like hitting my Q-Link knob, so I'm just going to select the knob that I want and then change it with my big knob. Now we're in homage. Now I'm going to switch over to notes mode because we don't want to play any more progressions. We're going to start making it sound crazy. So now we're just going to scale up and down the pads till we find the key that works. This little riff is important because this little riff we could turn off and on throughout the beat, and it will kind of give the beat some presence and body. It will give it the separation that we're looking for. You know, so if we mute this is verse, this could be verse, bridge, whatever. When we turn this sound on, this could be chorus or build up to chorus, bridge, whatever. So this sound is like a utility sound. It sounds good, it fits good, but it's also like a marker in the road or a marker in the beat. When you hear it come on or you hear it go off, you know that signifies change and movement in the beat. We definitely start talking about that more in the new master classes for 3.0, especially since you guys are giving such great feedback and you're starting to get the reason and why I make these videos, to show you that every day you can make it right inside the box. You could boost up your MPC and really get it going with just the presets. So right now we're in Cloud Supply. This right here is going to be another accent note. It's just going to accent something that's already there. This kind of sounds like that piano that's already playing, our main piano or our main loop. You know, this might bail us out if we turn off the main loop and the beat goes empty. We'll still have these sounds playing. Now we are in Analog Dreams. Gonna go to synths. I want to use all of them. I want to see how the MPC's running. So far, so good. Remember, right now we're still in notes mode. So what I'm looking for now, this is classic brass. That's this preset, the Analog Dreams. Again, what I'm looking for is just something to add in the space to kind of fill out. And as you add in these parts, they give you all different types of pieces that kind of signify certain parts of the beat. So now we're in Sub Factory. I'm gonna go down, add in a bass line. One thing I'll say is, if you hear a sound and you like it, you know, don't go too far ahead of it. So, you know, that first bass I liked. As I started going through these, I didn't really like these. So I just went back to the bass that I initially liked, that I heard first. You know, the more time you spend second guessing yourself, the harder everything gets. You gotta hear that voice inside of you that says, yeah, that sounds dope. You need to trust that voice and move forward. Remember, an efficiency tip. You don't have to hit undo. You could just hit record and record over any possible mishaps or things that you may have done while recording. If you're okay with just recording it all over again, then just hit record instead of overdub. Now that we got our bass line, let's go ahead and bounce this thing out to 64 bars. You see, we only got 7 tracks. I'm going to go ahead and name this drums, so that way I can identify it in my mutes. Mind you, this is the first time the music stopped since we started making this beat. Now I want to kind of align what I want the intro to sound like. Once I lock in my mind what I want it to be, we go click that automation box at the top, turn it to read where it turns red, and we just going to freestyle it. I always save doing my automation to last, especially on the tracks and certain things, because it can become a pain to go in there and listen at it and have to find it and take it all out. So what I do is make sure I make the beat kind of plain. Make sure I like all the sounds in the mix that I have there. And then that's when I start automating. I start doing all the automation last for the most part. So right now we are recording automation in, and we're starting to build the structure of our beat. Every time I hit the pads, when the pads are yellow, that means the song is playing. When the pads are orange, that means the pad is muted. So the way pad mutes work, the way track mutes work is that the audio's still playing. We're just cutting off audio out of that track. So all the notes are still there. Now it's just when you turn it off and on. Can you do it on and off beat? You don't want to make too many change-ups and too many drop-offs and too many changes in the drums, because if you're trying to place this with rappers or artists or anybody of that nature, they need a consistent space to actually put their lyrics on. If you're cutting it out, then they're in trouble. We're going to go straight from track mute over to pad mute. I'm going to turn on automation, and I'm going to mute the clap and both hi-hats. So essentially, we're going to leave the tom and the kick playing. If you have my 15 gigabyte drum pack with expansions, or if you own it, you already have this drum pack in it. It's called Always. Always. It's in the Marvel rims. Alright. And you can see now we're starting to build the song. This is one of my favorite parts of producing right here, is this part of it. Because now a simple loop starts to take shape. And as it starts to take shape and you get an idea of what the final is going to sound like, that helps you with your mixing, that helps you with your decision making. It just helps in a lot of ways. Alright, we're about done with the automation of the drum mutes. Let's turn that into read. And now we come over, we can check out the mix screen. So you can see it's only 7 tracks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and add an EQ here while we let it play. And here's some things, 5 things that I like about the Native Instruments plugins is 1, they don't have a long load time. 2, some of them have a lot of presets. 3, the sounds are unique from some of the other sounds that we have and plugins we have. 4, I like to be able to customize them and the ease of use and how they work to the cue links and different things of that nature. And 5, I like the fact that we could load them all up plus a drum kit and max out and still have over 40 or 30 or 40% room left inside the memory. So I like that a lot. Those are my 5 things that I like about them. My 5 things that I like about MPC 3 is I like the main screen. I like the fact that we can record audio straight to a track. I like the new color scheme. I like the collaborations and the constant dropping of new plugins. And I just like the MPC, man. I think this partnership with Native Instruments definitely helps boost the value of the MPC. I keep thinking about, man, how valuable these machines are going to be fully stocked with all these plugins, all these effects. You know, we look at the MPC 60 and the 3000s and 5000s. Like the way Akai is working these are going to be another level valuable. You know, right now we're working on the mix some. I definitely love this mixer window. And I definitely think that the Native Instruments plugins are worth getting. You see, we had no bugs, no cracks, no skips, no flips. We wasn't jammed. We had no awkward things go on. We got a lot of things happening. I think we got another one, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Yup, another one.